What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Listen, I know that you've been struggling here and there because you're probably just like I was when I first started. Hey, before I start, my name is Greg Napier. I'm coming to you from my wonderful home here in Columbus, Ohio. You can see in the background one of my fur babies. Her name is Spirit, and her brother is outside. He makes a little bit too much noise. He's about 11 months old now. She's about 2 years old, and they're a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. But the reason I say that it's a lot of work is because you have to be consistent and persistent in dealing with them. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is talking to the people who are raised up on a farm. You know, you familiar with a rooster. Cause so a rooster goes and cock-a-doodle doos and it wakes up everybody and blah blah blah. Well, that little baby up right up there, she's the cock-a-doodle doo. I don't have to set no alarm. At 6 to 6:30, she's coming in the room from her room to wake us up. Yeah, she either goes on my wife's side of the bed or my side of the bed. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I took a survey on my page a while back, and I was asking, I'm just curious about what marketers are looking for and what are you struggling with. And two of the things that really stuck out to me was some people said being consistent and creating content. Well, consistency is like this. How hungry are you? And what are your goals? Are you writing your goals down? Are you applying your goals? I go back to all the way when I was listening to a gentleman by the name of Mike Dillard, and he had a thing called magnetic sponsoring. And basically, what he was saying in that book was you have to write your goals and plans down the night before, and your daily operation of what you're going to do the night before. So you get your pad out and your pen, and it's Sunday night, and you're putting everything down for Monday morning. And what happens is you get up and then you complete those tasks, whatever it is. You may start your job, not your job. You may start your business at 10 o'clock, and you plan to be done by, let's say, 2 o'clock. Okay, just throwing a number out there. And so when you're consistently doing this, then you will have consistent results. But consistent has to be in there. If you're working a job, you have to be on your job at whatever time you have to be there. If you're late, you don't get paid, you get docked. Treat your business like your job, and you will always be on time and you will be consistent. I hope that helps. It's like my dog is consistently getting up. She is consistently getting up at 6:30 every morning, coming in there, letting us know that it's time to get up. I need to go outside. And what that does is that triggers her brother. Then he's waking up, and now you got both dogs up, and my wife or myself are getting up and taking them to let them go relieve themselves because they've been inside all night. Wonderful. That consistently happens every day, 7 days a week. So we can't say, oh, well, we don't feel like getting up today, because then if we don't get up, then there's going to be a mess. The dogs are going to make a mess in the house. And why would you want your dogs to make a mess when you've already trained them to be consistently on time, giving you the signal? That's the same thing you have to do in your business. You have to show up in your business every day. You have to consistently show up and work out the plan. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say, well, I really don't know. Now, as far as content is concerned, I could talk about that forever. Basically, content is just creating a journal for your life. One of my mentors that I strongly listen to a lot, he says you have to learn how to journal your life. What does your life consist of? If you have kids or if you don't have kids, if you're retired, not retired, whatever you're doing. Like, I'm a pet lover. I love pets. So I can journal and talk about my dogs and pets every day, all day. I can create content around that all by itself. Okay, I worked for the Postal Service for 25 years. I was in the military for 3.5, almost 4 years. I've been married for 35 years. We have 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and 2 great grandchildren. So I can talk about that all by itself. I can pick a topic and talk about that on content. I can talk about the do's and the don'ts, or the pros and the cons pertaining to marriage, the pros and cons pertaining to raising a pet. I can talk about the life and times of working my job at the Postal Service. I can talk about my time of being inside of the military. I can talk about my time of growing up in the projects of Chattanooga, Tennessee. I can talk about my time of being addicted to drugs and alcohol for 23 years. But I've been clean for 27 years. Look at the journey. Look at all, that's all life is as far as marketing is concerned. Don't make it no more than it is. I truly hope this is helping somebody, because it helped me when the people were sharing their information with me. And just for an FYI, there are all different types of mentors out there. The library is full of them. There's somebody I listen to every day, Dr. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. Jim Rohn I listen to. I listen to his information. There's a gentleman I get information from in the physical. That's my friend and my mentor, Mr. June Collier. There's my friend and mentor over in Illinois, Kendra Phipps. There's my mentor that I've had, my first mentor in the online space, Cedric Harris. I mean, I can go on, and this is not a video of me dropping names. This is me saying that the information is there. Well, I give you another one. I wanted to learn more about the dog business. So I got my friend and started asking him questions. He has become my friend. His name is Larry, up in Indiana. Now, I've asked him and learned a lot about what to do and what not to do when it comes to raising dogs. Yes, I transitioned my dog, the one you see back there, from kibbles and bits to a raw diet. That was an experience all by itself, and it's beautiful. So there's all kinds of content out there wherever you live. We just went to a football game seeing Ohio State play Rutgers just past Saturday. That's an experience of that. We were tailgating. Met a gentleman that was talking to me about some sports memorabilia. Then come to find out he's a network marketer. He's inside of a company called Amway. Wonderful company. It was one of my first companies. That's content. There's content all around you. I went to my chiropractor this morning. I go every week to get an adjustment. Beautiful experience. I can talk about that. All you have to do is formulate your mind and sit down and get in a quiet place and say, what do I want to talk about today? And just jot it down. Now, when we talk about transforming it into what medium you want to do it, is okay, do you like videos? Like, I love videos. I'm not really that great at writing, but I'm really good at expressing myself through a video. I can talk about the ministry. I'm a full-time pastor and a full-time entrepreneur. And I know you're probably saying, man, how could you do that? I can do both, because God has given me the strength and the wisdom and the knowledge to do that. I know what it looks like to be inside of a blended family. When I met my wife some 35 years ago, she had 2 children. They were teenagers. They were 16 and 11. Now they're 50, 54 and 49. And then the third child, he's 33. She had been married before. That's a blended family. I could talk about that. You can create content about anything. I wrote a post some time back talking about the difference between what ants do and what squirrels do. That's content. See, your job is to create the content and make it entertaining for the people to read it. And don't always, especially if you're a marketer, don't always be trying to put your link with stuff. Just ask questions. Like I put that post up asking person, I'm curious, what are you struggling with? So the people told me. So guess what? I created content, which is this video right here on this Facebook Live. Leave me a comment below if you're getting any value from this. Share this out with your friends, your family, your co-workers. And if you want to know how I'm creating residual and passive income in my life that is allowing me to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and wherever I want, you deserve to go to gregsaid.com. Go figure that. I coined that from my first mentor online. His name is Cedric Harris. So I use said. See, I don't operate in scarcity. So you might run over there and say, well, who is Cedric Harris? Or who is said? It's a beautiful thing. Not a problem for me. It's not a problem for me because what is for me is God has for me. What is for you, God has for you. So don't operate in scarcity. So I'm saying that I've been having a lot of success. I'm inside of a beautiful community that has been teaching me how to live my wonderful, blessed life here out online as an affiliate marketer. I'm a pastor, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a great-grandfather, I'm a lover of dogs. Now I have 2 dogs. I remember when I couldn't even have 1 dog, let alone 2. And it costs money to raise dogs. It costs money to feed them. They got to go to the vet. There's insurance involved. There's a lot of different things. They got to go on walks. One is outside right now. One is upstairs. They're very active in what they do. And guess what? I have no problem with it. Let me turn my phone off. I don't want to. Let me turn my phone. I got my earplug, but I turn. That's the beauty of doing live. I'm sitting here in the comfort of my own home. And the reason why people are struggling to come up with stuff is because you're not allowing yourself to be creative and the gifts that God gave you. God gave us all gifts. All of us have gifts. You have the gift, you have to just sit down quietly and pull it out. I have a friend of mine, and I could write articles about this for days, who is an actual shoe shine, shoe repair person. They're called cobblers. Go look it up. They're called cobblers. Over in the old country, they're called cobblers. He's phenomenal. I can talk about him for days on end. He's a wonderful guy. If you're in Columbus area and you need some shoes repaired or any leather goods repaired, hit me up and I'll give you his information. You can go over there. He's been taking care of my shoes and my leather goods for over a decade. Yes, he's what I call out in the world the bomb.com. Yes. If you want to learn about training on your dog and the nutrition that you should feed your dog, my boy Larry Broadneck's up in Indiana. If you want to learn how to have your best quality of life using Jesus Christ, you can talk to yours truly, Greg Napier. I'm giving it to you straight from the Bible, not from nothing that I did, only what I've experienced. I've journaled my life each and every week that I come out. If you want to learn how I'm having massive success, getting residual income, getting passive income on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, because here's what I know. People lie all day long, but numbers never lie. Numbers never lie. 2 plus 2 has been 4 ever since I've been on this earth, and it will never change. 2 plus 2 equals 4, and it will never change. Never. And I've learned how to do it. I'm having a situation where I'm having so much fun here in my excuse me, in my latter days. It's phenomenal. I just came back from a 1.5-day trip of picking a dog up in North Carolina and driving that dog over to Hammond, Indiana, and got paid. And here's the beautiful part about it. By me working from home and working my own business, that was 1,400 miles. So guess what? the government gonna pay me 62 cents a mile for those 1,400 miles on top of what the breeder paid me to go pick the dog up and bring the dog to him. That's an all the way payday. And I didn't know the first thing about dog transport. When I picked up my dog 10 months ago at the age of 13 weeks, I picked my dog up. I went to Hammond, Indiana, me and my wife, and picked up our dog. His name is Shaka. And if you haven't seen him, you will see him. See, I make lemonade. I make lemonade all the time out of lemons. I never let nothing ever discourage me. No grass grows under my feet. I will soon be 65 years of age in February. And I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that to impress upon you that if you want something done, you're going to have to do it. You can't be out here making excuses and talking about, well, I don't know how to do this. How many times have you tried? There have been several times over the course of my internet and online business that I wanted to give up and I wanted to throw in the towel because something didn't go the way I wanted it to go, or somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do. I remember when I had a team of people inside of a company I was in, I lost a whole entire team. That income was $4,000 a month. Now I was a little upset, but I didn't bellyache and cry. I just said, okay, it is what it is. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So there's a quote, and I'm going to end with this. But make sure you share this out. Make sure you leave me a comment on what you may be struggling with. I'm curious. Or if this video added some value to your life on how you can go out and start your online business, or if you're already currently in an online business, but you just having some difficulties maneuvering your way. Hey, I'm a real person in the real world. I know what that looks like. I know what the struggle looks like. The struggle is real, and I get it. But creating content is all around you. Being consistent, I'm going to ask you this. Do you wash your face every day? Do you brush your teeth every day? Most of you on here probably are coffee drinkers or tea drinkers. Do you do that every day? That's called consistent. One of my mentors, when I speak of mentors, I'm talking about people that are in books or people that I've come across in the physical. Og Mandino, go out and get the book. One of the famous quotes I love in there, he said, I will persist until I succeed. I will persist until I succeed. That means I ain't quitting. Don't make no difference what the situation is, what the circumstance is. If I'm making no money today, or I made $1,000 a day, or whatever, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on going. I will persist until I succeed. That's what you need to tell yourself. You will persist until you succeed. Quitters only quit when they don't understand what's going on. But don't be a quitter. Be a persister. Be consistent. Get up, pull yourself up, dust your feet off, and say, look, I got this. And it don't have to be nothing big. See, you think it's got to be something big, but if you create the content, be consistent on creating the content. You go to work every day. I don't want to repeat myself, so I'm just going to say, I love you. God loves you. And if you really want to know how to get some residual and passive income, again, gregsaid.com. And it'll be on the screen somewhere. gregsaid.com. And that will be, when you do that, it's gonna come directly to me, and I'll be more than happy to set up something and show you exactly how we doing it over here, because we're doing it big and it don't cost you a whole lot of money. And then you will learn and you will feel free and you'll thank me later. And you'll say, you know what? That Greg was right. So, hey, I said, so I'm signing off. I love each and every one of you. Let me know in the comments what kind of value you got from this. Share this out with your friends, your family, your coworkers. Anybody and everybody needs to understand that being consistent and creating content is relatively very, very